tonight. On Lookup Weekend tonight.
Kitale of Dennis Pritch, with others know before this court, he murdered Monica Nyawira Kimani.
Justice for Monica Kimani 5 years later. Court finds Joseph Irungu alias Jowie guilty of the murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani.
The charge brought against the second accused person was not the proper charge.
Also tonight, freedom at last. Journalist Jackie Maribe acquitted of the murder of Monica Kimani as court cites lack of enough evidence. And a manhunt for Kelvin Kang'ethe. Nairobi Police Boss Adamson Bungei assures investigations are ongoing following the disappearance of Kelvin Kang'ethe. Now remember, you can be part of the program by engaging us on our socials. That is at Lookuptv on X, at Amoy Brian on X2, and we are at Lookuptv on Facebook and on YouTube, where this program is being broadcast live. We do welcome your feedback on that particular social platforms, and we'll be sampling some of it as we continue with the program tonight. Do tell us where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories we are running today, including the story of the murder of Monica Kimani and the judgment that has been delivered today. Now let's begin. Now Joseph Irungu, alias Jowie, has been found guilty of the murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani in September 2019. Now the court, in the decision given by Judge Grace Nzioka, found that businesswoman Monica Kimani did not die a normal death, but was killed as proven by the prosecution. Following the court's decision, Jowie's request for bail has been dismissed and will remain in custody until 8th of March, when he will be sentenced.
The High Court has found Joseph Irungu aka Jowie guilty of the murder of businesswoman Monica Nyawira Kimani, who was murdered on the night of September 19th, 2018 in a house in Lamuria Gardens in Nairobi.
That on the night of 19th of September 2018, at an unknown time at Lamuria Gardens apartment, Kitale of Dennis Pritch, with others know before this court, he murdered Monica Nyawira Kimani.
Giving the decision on Friday, Judge Grace Nzioka decided the prosecution provided sufficient evidence and proved without doubt that Jowie killed Monica Kimani.
It is tried law in criminal cases that the burden of proving a crime lies on the prosecution to prove the ingredients of the charge beyond reasonable doubt. This is explicitly set forth in the provisions of Section 107, 108, and 109 of the Evidence Act, which is Cap 80 of our laws of the land.
During judgment against the case, several witnesses appeared, including George Kimani, brother to late Monica, and Dominic Bisera Aaron, who had lost his identity card allegedly used by Jowie to hide his identity to enter Lamuria Gardens, where Monica was living.
It is the finding of this court that there is evidence the first accused person was within the vicinity of Dennis Pritch area, the vicinity of the commission of the offense, and that corroborates the evidence of Lee Owen of his presence in the house of the deceased.
Jowie's bail has been denied and he will remain in custody until March 8, 2024, when the court will issue the sentence. John Matava, Lookuptv.
Now, the court on Friday acquitted journalist Jackie Maribe of the murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani. Maribe, who appeared in court alongside the first accused person Jowie Irungu, was found not guilty by Justice Grace Nzioka. Now, Judge Nzioka, in her judgment, ruled that there was no sufficient evidence to prove that Maribe was involved in the murder of Monica Kimani. 19th September 2019 at Lamuria Gardens, the murder of Monica Kimani took place. A murder that involved former Citizen TV newscaster Jackie Maribe and her then partner Joseph Irungu alias Jowie, setting in motion investigations and a trial that will go on for years. February 9th, 2024, the two, Jackie Maribe and Jowie Irungu, appeared before Justice Grace Nzioka as she delivered her judgment.
The evidence by the prosecution against the second accused person did not place the second accused person in the house of the deceased on the material night. There was no evidence that she had ever communicated with the deceased.
Justice Grace Nzioka cited lack of enough evidence to place Jackie Maribe at the scene of crime.
The result is that the prosecution did not adduce adequate evidence for this court to find the second accused person guilty of the offense of murder of Monica Nyawira Kimani on the night of 19th of September 2018.
Consequently, acquitting Maribe in the Monica Kimani murder case. However, Justice Nzioka in her ruling said Maribe had lied to the courts by giving contradicting information.
The statement which the second accused person gave to the police on 28th was false. The statement was given to a person in public service. The statement intended that that person investigates that offense. That statement was retracted by the second accused person the following day by a different statement now speaking to what is said to be the truth. There is no timelines in criminal law when you can prefer charge against a suspect. The Limitation of Actions Act does not apply to criminal offenses. It is my considered view that the charge brought against the second accused person was not the proper charge.
The family of Jackie welcomed the court's ruling, exonerating her of murder.
What has been said is worth reading. I'm saying this because many a times we were in the courtroom and we would see messages of things that have been said. I want to believe that it did not cause us to feel like at the end we would be in a position to get what we needed.
Today the court has affirmed what we have said, that for the last 6 years, George Kinoti put an innocent person on the dock, knowing very well there was no evidence that put Jackie on the scene, that put Jackie on concealing any evidence, and the court has confirmed all that today.
The John 8:32, for you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Thank you.
Maribe is the second accused in the case that has been ongoing for 5 years. Jowie and Jackie Maribe have been on trial since 2018, with the prosecution having called 35 witnesses. The defense did not call any witness on the stand. Brana Mwai, Lookuptv, Nairobi. Now, away from that, the Naivasha Court Judge Grace Nzioka today appearing before the Nairobi Milimani Law Court to issue judgment in the case of the murder of slain businesswoman Monica Kimani 5 years ago, ruled in a detailed manner that placed one Joseph Irungu alias Jowie at the center of the murder, which took place at Lamuria Gardens in Kilimani. Stanley Lugaria camped at the court and now brings us the movements of Jowie before and after being involved in the act.
According to testimony provided before the court, 5 witnesses confirmed the dress code of Jowie on the fateful day, with the witness Pamela Chelagat, the guard at Lamuria Gate, and Lee Owen, whom they met inside the deceased house, all verifying the first accused wore a maroon cape, and the last 2 proving that he was wearing a white kanzu.
Eunice Mohammed, who was the caretaker at Royal Park Estate, he says, if there was a gunshot incident at the main gate, I would have gone as a caretaker. There wasn't.
The court confirmed that Dominic Bisere Haron's ID was stolen on September 17, 2018. 2 days before the murder of businesswoman Monica Kimani, Jowie impersonating and identifying himself at the Lamuria Gate in Kilimani as Dominic,
after a thorough interrogation by prosecution with the genuine owner of the ID, who said he was going to look for a job when he left ID at the gate of Royal Park apartment, and when he returned to pick it up at the gate, he missed it and reported at the gate.
Is that the first accused person, and I made a finding on that and we don't have to elaborate. The first accused person stole the ID of Dominic Bisera Haru on 17th of September, 2 days before.
Witness Lee Owen proving that they spent more than an hour in the deceased house before he left the deceased with Jowie at 11 o'clock at night, different from Jowie's statement, who claimed that he would not have used only 10 minutes to kill Monica, even after Judge Nzioka confirmed a difference of 10 minutes of all statements recorded.
It was the duty of the prosecution to displace my alibi. They have not. And she says, if they're asking this court to convict me for aiding and abetting or an accessory after the fact, there's no evidence I did. And if there is any evidence of anything I did, it has nothing to do with the murder. It could have something to do with them shooting himself.
The judgment of the doctrine of the last seen alive was taken from the doctrine of the case between Kimani and the government. Nzioka quoting that the law claims that the person who was last seen with the deceased is presumed to have been involved in their death, and it is required that they provide a statement as key suspect. The court discovered that Jowie, who is the first accused in the case, was last person to be seen by the deceased or with the deceased after Lee Owen left the house at 11 o'clock at night, later followed by Jowie, who came out at 11:21 p.m. Judge Nzioka admitting that there are conflicting statements with 10 minutes difference.
An accused person who is an alibi as an answer to a charge does not in law thereby assume any burden of proving that answer, and is sufficient if an alibi introduces in the mind of a court doubt that is not unreasonable.
According to Justice Nzioka, against the evidence provided and questioned by the court, Jowie's defense claims of not committing the horrific crime were dismissed. Nzioka claiming that the interrogation of the first suspect and his movements proved that he committed the crime.
And did actually target for purposes of instant death of the deceased person. Does this connotes malice aforethought?
Brian Kasaine, a friend to Jowie who turned into a state witness, according to the report he presented, interrogated by the court of two witnesses, Brian Kasaine and the guard of the apartment where Jowie lived, proved he lied. And thus, in the doctrine where the court finds that the accused is a liar, the court has no option but to refuse to take the evidence given by the accused, Jowie finding himself in the frying pan for the offense after the court determined him to be a liar.
She then crowns her submissions by coming to the doctrine of last seen and says, if there is anyone to be asked as to what happened to the deceased person, it's the people who are last seen with her, who are Walidi, Kaka, Owen, and the first accused.
Jowie turning his back on his friend Monica Kimani after notifying the court that he did not know in any way the late businesswoman.
It's about 117 pages. It may not take one day to write.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Right, it is a crime that shocked the nation and a judgment that continues to elicit debate across different platforms here in the country. We do want to take a short break here on the program, but when we come back, we'll be coming back with more stories, including that of Kevin Kangede, how he escaped, and what the police are doing about it. Don't go too far. We'll be back in a moment.
Infinity Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Tere, mambo ni mawili, kufikisha, kumwaga na kurudi. Kulala ni mwaka mpya.
Muka we mse. Nini mbaya? Wewe kwani wani vile dereva anaendesha gari vibaya, lazima tususe. Anaendesha gari na kwa simu the whole time hata akalipa barabara. Kamisheni dereva tusimame. Wewe dereva wewe, mwaka iliyopita peke yake watu zaidi ya 3,000 walipoteza maisha yao barabarani kwa sababu ya tabia kama hizo. Hautatuangamiza tukiona.
Naomba msamaha, nitampeleka vizuri.
Si wameomba msamaha. Sasa tuende tusafiri kwa mwendo wa aste.
Dere Smart hufikisha abiria salama. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na NTSA kwa ushirikiano na European Union.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us here on the program. Let's continue with the news tonight. Now, the national government has cracked the whip on the illicit brew business in Kirinyaga County following the recent death of 5 people by recalling top security officers in the county. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has ordered the county commissioner, the police commander, and the county investigative officer to vacate their offices and report to Nairobi for further instructions. Now, the 4 top security officers have been indicted for their failure to stop illicit brew in their jurisdiction, even after the government declared war on the same. Henry Tendanyula now reports.
As Kirinyaga County continues to mourn the death of 5 people who fell victim of the recent incident of illicit brew that also left more than 20 people blind, the national government has broken its silence on the incident and has taken action. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has recalled the top security officers in Kirinyaga who have now been ordered to report to the head office in Nairobi for further instructions.
Kama serikali tuko na shida na ile pombe haramu, ile sumu. That we cannot agree. Hapa Mwea West Sub-County, pombe imekuja ni sumu. Imeuziwa watu wetu, wamekufa watu 13. 23 wamekufa. Zaidi ya 20 wamepoteza macho. Hapo polisi walikuweko. Administration ilikuweko. Hata kabla tufike kotini, hiyo watu wetu walikuwa wapi? Sisi kama serikali hatuwezi kubali. Na mimi nataka nitangaze leo, serikali imechukua hatua kali. The county commissioner, the county police commander, the county investigation officer CCIO, the county AP commander, we are withdrawing them from this county, warudi Nairobi.
The government's rage also shifted to the judiciary, with Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua particularly laying blame on Chief Justice Martha Koome and the entire judiciary for frustrating war on illicit brew in the country.
Hata kama tuko na shida kotini, na mimi I want to appeal to the Chief Justice, Lady Justice Martha Koome. Wewe Martha Koome ni mtoto wetu hapa katika Mlima Kenya. Imekuwaje koti zako watu wote wakiwa wako na ile pombe baya wanaenda mnapatia order waendelee kuuza sumu kwa watoto wetu? What has happened to our judges? How do you allow people to continue selling poison to our children? I want to ask Lady Justice Martha Koome and the judges, huyo mtu amepelekwa kotini mara 13 mkamwachilia. Saa hii watu wamekufa 23. Chief Justice and the judges of Kenya, what will you tell the people of Kirinyaga?
The Kenya Kwanza administration has taken measures to curb illicit brew in the country, but more often, individuals carrying out this crime have found a way to evade the sharp eye of the authorities. It is also said some corrupt officers are turning a blind eye to the problem that is slowly becoming a national disaster. Henry Tendanyula, Lookuptv.
Now, Nairobi Police Boss Adamson Bungei now says that 4 police officers who were manning the Muthaiga police station when wanted murder suspect Kelvin Kinyanjui Kang'ethe escaped from custody have been interdicted. Now, Bungei said as part of disciplinary measures within the police force, 2 additional senior officers overseeing the 4 policemen in question have been reassigned to different duty stations as the suspect's lawyer, John Degwa Maina, remains in custody to help with the investigations. Now, the suspect was awaiting extradition on a Massachusetts warrant alleging he killed his girlfriend and left her body in a car at the Boston airport.
I don't want to open up or rather talk much about that because we are doing it. We are pursuing it. We are handling that matter. As you put it very clear, as police, we are not leaving anything behind in that matter. We are handling it with the need required, and we are focusing all our interest on that matter. As because it is a case of interest as at now, I won't talk about that as such, but I want to assure that in due time, the results will be in. We are on it. We are on it.
Now, Education Cabinet Secretary, that is Ezekiel Machogu, has cautioned the youth against being misused by some politicians for their own political mileage in the region. Machogu, while addressing mourners at Kisii National Polytechnic, noted that handouts have become a norm of the day for the youth to cause chaos.
Addressing mourners at Kisii National Polytechnic in Kisii County at the funeral of the late Principal Daniel Nyaraki, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu warned the youth of being misused by politicians to cause chaos.
Hii mambo shilingi 400 500 inazunguzwa hapo, hiyo ni upuzi, ni usensi, ni upumbavu. Kama jamii ya Kisii tukubali hiyo upumbavu, unataka hiyo upumbavu tukubali? Kama Machogu niwafanyie nini? Niwafanyie maendeleo, si ndio? Kama ni gavana shipo bilioni 15.
Machogu said that handouts have become the norm of the day for the youth to cause chaos.
Gerere ikwame Kisii. Sisi kama wazee tumeona usenzi mingi hapa. Sasa tutajitokeza na kusimamisha hii usenzi. Asante na
Speaking at the same function, the newly deployed County Commissioner Joseph Kibet warned politicians for causing chaos, pointing an accusing finger to the Kisii Governor Simba Arati and the National Assembly Chief Whip Silvanus Osoro for causing chaos. Kibet vowed to restore order in the county and realize development.
Na ni maajabu sana kama kuna kiongozi kati yetu ambaye anaweza jojea vijana wakuje wapige kelele.
Either responding to the insecurity claims, Kisii Governor Simba Arati scoffed off at the commissioner for what he terms as intimidating leaders instead of working for the people.
Commissioner waje nimwambie bwana. Wewe umepewa kazi, fanya. Hakuna vitisho. vitisho, kwenda upige kura kwako nyumbani, ulete hiyo vitisho hapa. Mimi siwezi kuwa wandamazimu ni hawa watu wote. Kama niko na uwezo wa kulipa watu kuja matanga namna hii, si basi muogope.
Arati claimed that political rivals were forefront in misusing administration to cause chaos. Msonye Onesmus, Lookuptv.
Now, family in Garissa County has raised concerns over their missing kin, Osman Gure, who was allegedly kidnapped from his homestead on Tuesday night in Nuno area. Now, the family has been camping in Nuno police station for 48 hours since their kin was kidnapped, awaiting police investigations.
Speaking in Eldoret town, the county police commander Benjamin Mwanthi said that the illegal alcohol has found its way into the shelves, a situation that endangers the lives of locals, warning the residents against consuming alcohol from unauthorized places.
Jana mwendo wa saa 4, our officers from DCI while on patrol, they came across this vehicle ambayo mnaona hapa Fielder, Toyota Fielder, then wakaisimamisha, but on suspicion ya kwamba ilikuwa inabeba vitu ya so wakati walisimamisha, driver alitoka na kukimbia, so our officers walikimbiza na wakaweza kumpata. Street value ni about 500,000 na tukaweza kumweka ndani. We are processing him for court.
He vowed to fight against illegal alcohol, urging residents to report any suspicious illegal liquor stores.
Ingetafuta njia yake kuingia kwa bar zetu, kuingia kwa counter zetu, so wale wana operate bar within Wasigishu, tununue ile pombe ambayo ni halali. Tusijaribu kununua second generation, tusijaribu kununua pombe ambayo imechanganywa kienyeji, imetumia ethanol ambayo ni very toxic. Wananchi pia tunawahimiza wakienda kwa bar wakunywe ile vitu ambayo inakubaliwa. Wasiende tu kwa bar, na wakiona bar inauza vitu ambayo wana suspect si ile inatakana, wajaribu kupasha polisi habari.
Ebikadenye, Lookuptv.
Now, the government of Egypt has donated 10.5 metric tons of medical supplies and food to support victims of the recent floods in Kenya. Now, speaking in Nairobi during the receiving of the donations, Principal Secretary for State Department for Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development, Kelo Hassama, said that the supplies will support flood victims in various flood rescue camps in Tana River and parts of northeastern province.
El Nino rains really devastated many parts of the country. More than 500,000 people were affected in the lower region of Kenya, the coastal region and the northeastern region. Many of them became very vulnerable to diseases. They became very vulnerable to food shortage. And the government of Kenya has spent over 2.8 billion Kenya shillings to support these families. However, we really appreciate support from various organizations and countries which have supported us, like now we are experiencing Egypt.
It is just a token to show that these people have our heartfelt support and sympathy, and that also at the time we know that it's not much. It's only 10.5 tons of medicines, food, and tents.
Now, Kisii County Women Representative Doris Aburi was attacked by goons after attending a funeral in Gucha sub-county for a local contractor. Now, the women rep strongly condemned the attack that occurred.
Press in Kisii town, she expressed her dismay, saying the trouble began after she had presented a donation from South Mugirango MP, Sylvanus Osoro to the bereaved family.
Kwanza mimi nilipeana pesa za chief whip. Hapo ndio kelele ilianza. Meaning ni kitu ilikuwa imepangwa. Juu sasa mnyinyi mnaenda matanga kuambia mama pole, pokea pesa za marafiki wetu. Watu wenye wanapiga kelele hata sio watu wenye wamefiwa wamepokea na roho safi. Sasa hii ni politics of goonism.
Nyeri County, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has called for tougher sentences for those involved in illicit brewing, terming them as murderers. Dorcas also urged parents and the church to join efforts and support the government to fight against alcohol, drugs and substances abuse.
About 17 people have died. These people who are brewing these illicit brews have been in and out of courts 11 times.
Isiolo County MCAs have denied rumors which are spreading on social media. The rumors were a letter from the leader of the county parliament signed by several ward representatives inviting different government organizations such as the ESCC and the DCI to carry out investigations at the County Assembly Service Board for alleged abuse of office and misappropriation of funds. The MPs are now asking for the government to throw away the letter that is alleged to be a fake. The Weather Forecast Department has asked to provide guidance to farmers who are preparing for planting activities regarding the rain condition in order to know the right time to start planting activities and thus prevent losses due to seed germination. A research expert in the agricultural sector in the country, Buka Ochieng, speaking in Kakamega during conference of agriculture experts.
Tungependa idara ya meteorological department itoke wazi na advise wakulima kwamba hii mvua ambayo inanyesha itaonyesha mpaka muda gani na inatuweza tusaidia kukuza mimea gani. Wakulima wanajitayarisha kuanza kupanda lakini hawajui mwezi ambao inakuja mpaka mwezi wa 5 kutakuwa na mvua.
All right, time to take a short break here on Look Up Weekend. We'll be back in a few with more stories.
What about mambo fantastic if not scholastic? Chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket imerudi. Ukifanya tu shopping ya shilingi 1000, wewe unaingia kwa promotion ya chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Watu wanaendelea kushinda ndani ya Hetia Supermarket.
Ni yangu.
Mwana tata. Kitoko. Wewe na unashinda
nini? Yote. Kwanza, uoga na lala.
Karibu ndani ya Hetia Supermarket uweze kuchota kwa wingi kabisa. Watu huko wanasema nini? Nakwambia kwamba chota kuchota. Unangoja nini?
Magari 7 za kushindaniwa, TV, fridge, microwave, shopping vouchers, school fees vouchers, instant prizes na zawadi zingine kemkem. Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Hetia's Oven Fresh Bakery, Gigabyte, Mount Kenya Milk, Clover's Food Products, Velvex, Magic Drink, Pwani Oil, Arenco, Fruit Juice, Masterchef, Toilex, Coolsip, Mika, Wash Ultra, Philos, Prestol, Nivea, My Choice, Ushindi, Fresh Fry, Arimis Jelly, Cabernet Water, Dettol, Ketepa, Meta, Glucose, Coca-Cola, Rosy Tissue, Big Giant, Ebins, Unilever, Fresh, Unga wa Dola, Blue Band na Pasta Star. Shindano la chota kuchota linaanza tarehe 1 Disemba hadi tarehe 10 Februari mwaka 2024.
Hetia Supermarket, a world of choice.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution or a university and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today. Or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
Now to sports, Embu County held the first ever netball tournament as a way of popularizing the game that has for long commanded little interest and reputation despite being recognized as a legitimate and competitive sport globally. Now the inaugural tournament held at the University of Embu grounds brought together young and old participants from different learning institutions, the county government and local clubs from around the county. Now the organizers said they want to create love for the sport right from the grassroots level and nurturing young talents to become better players that can in turn be a source of income for them.
Ni mara ya kwanza kuona mchezo wa netball kuwa na klabu kule mashinani, na tukaona kwamba huu mchezo umeachiliwa sana na aidha watu wa secondary schools, primary schools, universities na club kama federation and especially hapa Embu County. Kwa hivyo wakati tulikaa chini tukaona kwamba tutakuwa kusupport our ladies wetu, na tunashukuru siku ya leo tumepata timu 8 za kutoka sub county tofauti hapa Embu. Hii timu yetu, hii tournament ya netball imelete age groups tofauti. Tuko na JSSA, watoto wadogo. Tuko na over 70 team ambayo inacheza 75 years, 78 years, na tuko na age zote. Na tunasema kukuza netball na kupea watoto wadogo support wasichana, hii ndio njia.
Now, the Kenyan quintet of Naomi Wafula, Jacqueline Walter, Chanel Wangari and Mercy Nyanchama have failed to make the cut as the 2024 Magical Kenya Ladies Open got into day 2 at the Vipingo Ridge in Kilifi County. Now, Jacqueline Walter, who was the top-ranked golfer in day 1, had a bad round, posting 15 over par 686 to bow out of the tournament in position 100. Now, Kenya top amateur golfer Naomi Wafula scored over par 13 in day 1, while Chanel Wangari and Mercy Nyanchama bottom of the leaderboard.
So on 15th, I lost the ball. I teed off with my 5-wood and then just pulled it, so it went on the bush. So I wanted just to be clear, like, is it a 1 penalty or 2 penalty? Because with this major game, you never know really the rules. So I had to ask for the interviewer to come and then to show me. So I took up 1 penalty drop and then I got a bogey on that hole. Yeah.
Now, English Premier League continues this weekend. Manchester United will travel to Villa Park to battle with Aston Villa. Man City will take on Everton. Fulham will dance with Bournemouth. Tottenham Hotspur will face Brighton. Other matches to play are as follows. Right, on the sign language interpretation desk, we had Felista Adundo. On the prompter, I did have Kivuva, and the director tonight has been Orondo. Thank you so much for making time for the program tonight. On behalf of every other person that made this one a success, because there's an entire team that makes this happen every night, I do want to thank you so much for watching. Let's do this again next time. You have yourselves a lovely night, and yes.